She was really impressive. I thought the thing was she acts very calm under pressure. Now she's very highly touted player, had international experience, and that really is the key for this player. She does a really good job of understanding where she is on the floor. Great sequences in terms of her reading the block. She makes adjustments, and I love her just as a freshman, exploding. For Wisconsin, Thompson had the answer, and USC did not. She was so effective on the slide play. When you look at her numbers, 12 kills, 2 digs. She hit 379, really eliminated any of the attacking errors. You got to love her power, and you know that she's going to get some good looks.
The final match of non-conference play, and we have a good one. Number 4, Wisconsin, and number 5, Washington. We will have the starting lineups for you right after this on Pac-12 Networks. Pac-12 Women's Volleyball is presented by ASICS. Better your best. Back here at the University of Washington, the final match of the evening in our Pac-12 Big Ten Showcase, brought to you by ASICS and 2 good ones, number 4 Wisconsin and number 5 Washington. Here at the Alaska Airlines Arena, Krista Blank and Tammy Blackburn, and the head coach of the Wisconsin Badgers is Kelly Sheffield in his 2nd season. 37 wins, 10 losses for him. 5 seasons prior to taking over at Wisconsin. He was the head coach at Dayton, but he took this Badgers team to the national championship match last season and lost to Penn State. And on the other side, Jim McLaughlin in his 14th season as the head coach at Washington, the Pac-12 Coach of the Year last year. And what he has done, and what a great crowd as classes are about to get underway this coming week, and that's a plus. Nice to have the students in the stand.
Yeah, there's a lot of dog fans in the house.
And a tough way to start for the Huskies as Katie Bills, the junior setter, gets the service error, and Wisconsin will get the first point.
A lot of parents here. It's move-in weekend at University of Washington. Great field, national premier game. Super excited. Number 4, number 5, 2 service errors to start, Krista.
2 undefeated teams. That was Lauren Carlini, the sophomore setter, and she is incredibly talented. As you see the series history, the Huskies lead at 3-1. Last meeting was in the NCAA tournament back in 2005. Beals, the short quick in the middle. What a pretty up there from Morey, the libero. And they will go to Melanie Wade again. Back set to Nelson off the block. Tough shot there as the Badgers were able to work it around, and the finish from Ellen Chapman.
Now this is a balanced Wisconsin team. You will certainly see that. And they can dominate offensively. 5 starters averaging 2 or more kills per set. They spread it 30 feet across the net.
Outside to Scambray. We talked about her in the open, that talented freshman. The block was there for Washington, but the angle was not, and the point will go to the Badgers.
And with that balanced offensive attack by Wisconsin, it will be very important for the blocking scheme of the Huskies to be sharp.
Back set, and a great finish there from Kaylee Nelson, one of just 2 seniors on this Huskies team. Nelson coming off of the 8-kill match just last night in their win against Maryland.
I can certainly say the same thing for Wisconsin about the importance of their block going up against Nelson, Van Sant, and of course Wade in the middle.
Pass off the mark to Carlini. And Bates had to hang there a little bit. There's the big block. Nelson to Nelson on the other side, and it's Haley Nelson that wins that one.
They did such a nice job of Kelly Bates on the outside as Nelson just hits that left arm, and you see that Haley Nelson was there. They just did a nice job of being able to close out that block.
Short pick in the middle to Liana Sebeldin. And reflexes from Nelson on the other side. Back set, big swing, and the finish for Courtney Thomas.
Courtney Thomas had a double-double last night. As you see her take this angle, Strickland can't react quick enough. Big numbers from a big-time player.
And the service just going long, so service errors from both sides, both teams knowing and taking some chances here, but it's not paying off.
What do you think, Krista? Number 4, number 5, a little early jitters for both of these teams?
Could be, both coaches up. You see Jim McLaughlin talking things over with Kaylee Nelson, one of his seniors. And Bailey Tanner now has checked in the redshirt freshman setter. Big block right there. If you like something you see, give us a tweet, hashtag WISC versus UW. This is maybe one that's going to make a top 12 play.
Well, I'll be sure to go ahead and tweet me about that one. That would have been one of my favorites. That's a big-time block. They're putting up a big wall. They're going to have to be consistent with that, as I mentioned earlier.
Service error there by Bailey Tanner. Redshirted last season, had a foot injury, and they have just kind of gotten her back to where she's able to put more force on it, but it's still a problem at times. Free ball over from the Badgers. Quick in the middle to Sebelden. When she gets that full wind up, look out. And a shot out of the back row. Courtney Thomas trickles it off the block.
Well, tip your hat to Taylor Morey, the libero. She's wearing that red jersey there. And look at that big old dig to just grind that out and give a opportunity for that ball to be set.
Pass from Van Sant. Not quite where Tanner needed it. Quick shot there from Chrissy Jones. Triple blockers just waiting, and it'll be a point to Washington.
A tough angle for Morales to have to hit out of the back as Thomas tried to give her something.
Taylor Morey, the libero for Wisconsin. She's already been very busy here early in set 1. And a service error there from Tia Scambray.
This was a little bit of a problem yesterday for the Huskies, and we had talked about this. Already 3 service errors for the Huskies in an early set number 1.
They had 9 aces in their win against Maryland, but 10 errors. And that one just going long, back-to-back service errors. Neither team able to get it done.
So 3 apiece in terms of service errors.
That's going to bring back one of the toughest servers for the Huskies, and Cassie Strickland, the junior libero. Nice up from Thomas. And just trying to tip it to the back was Dominique Thompson, but it goes long. And the Huskies pull within 1. Cassie Strickland with the ace, a little assistance from the net.
It hits the top of the tape and just falls into the opponent's side of the court. You see, there's nothing Wisconsin can do in the back row. And she's got a nice aggressive serve. That topspin sometimes hits.
Tied up here in set 1. There's the slide play from Thompson, though. She had that going last night.
Well, she did. USC didn't have an answer. The Huskies are going to have to figure out how to get this quick, because once she gets rolling, she's pretty good. And you can see she just finds an open space right in front of her on that slide play, and she's able to put that ball right in front of the back row.
Van Sant. I didn't think the set was going to get there for her, but she caught up to it.
And sometimes when you don't get a hittable ball, you have to go grab it. Let the hitters do the work. That is what Jim McLaughlin will talk about. And that's exactly what Van Sant does on that play, deep into the corner.
Carlini, the back set to Nelson. Carlini will try to take it. Second ball over, won't work, and finally, the Badgers able to find the opening in the back.
Wisconsin's just playing with some pretty good confidence out of the gates. Aside from the 3 service errors, Wisconsin looks sharp. Now, Krista, Washington got a slow start yesterday, and Jim McLaughlin talked about it in the media this morning, and looks like another slow start for them.
Service ace for Lauren Carlini, the sophomore setter out of Aurora, Illinois. Sends that one deep. The overpass is taken care of by Courtney Thomas on the other side.
Wisconsin will certainly exploit you when you make mistakes. There's the overpass that you mentioned. Courtney Thomas has no trouble. This is an elite team. This is why they're 4th in the nation. Got to shore up the details.
Jay McLaughlin wants the timeout as Wisconsin extends their lead by 3 here in set 1.
Pac-12 Washington is brought to you in high definition by Xfinity, only from Comcast.
Hi, I'm Kayla Mills, USC women's soccer, forward and defender. I got into soccer because who doesn't play soccer when they're 4? I tried out basketball, I was too scared to shoot the ball, kind of just stuck with soccer, and it turned out to work. USC was actually never one of the schools I looked at, and then I came here and I was like, wow, I love this place, and I just picture myself eating lunch at certain places and walking around with my friends. I am so blessed to be a part of this Trojan family. I mean, I wouldn't have wanted to play soccer and develop anywhere else. Freshman year coming in, transitioning from club to college, it was an awakening. There's always improvement that can be made. There's always developing that needs to be done. I'm a firm believer of that. And where I go from here is I continue to grow and develop into a better soccer player because I know that there's a lot more that I have to learn, and I'm nothing but excited to learn it. Fight on!
Earlier this evening, it was number 10 USC with a big win over Maryland, and Ebony Wannabe was on fire.
She may not be 100% healthy, but she sure looked like she was on the road to recovery. 7 kills, 20 total attempts, only 1 attacking error to hit 300. It was crucial that she get started at some point in time. Last year's Pac-12 Freshman of the Year only had 1 service error, chalked up a service ace, and a well-rounded game for Ebony Wannabe. When she gets on key, it's important. It gives Bricio a little breath of fresh air.
You can see a little smile on the face of Mick Haley, his 350th win. And they were happy to get that one, stopping that losing skid. Both of these teams here undefeated coming in. Somebody is going to have a loss as they head into conference play. The final non-conference match, and for Wisconsin in the Big Ten, their first matchup, it'll be Penn State. But a plus for the Badgers, they will only see Penn State once this season because of the way the rotation goes, and it will be on their home court. So that is a big plus for them. Hustle and effort by Strickland and the Huskies, but Wisconsin will get it back. This crowd, a good one here, trying to get the Huskies back in it. Nelson off the block, had enough behind it. And Krista Van Sant will go back to serve.
You see so many options up at the net for the Huskies, and depending on what Beals or the other setter in the 6-2 offense calls.
Big swing from Chapman, a nice up from Van Sant. Kind of a sidearm swing there from Scambray. Off the block, too much on it. Ellen Chapman, the senior, with the kill. Ellen Chapman, the senior from Glenview, Illinois. Wade in the middle, big shot. Right at Taylor Morey, the libero. Nice finish there for Melanie Wade.
A big swing, and you gotta love it when you can set the middles. It is the hardest thing to block in terms of the attack. The point of attack was good, nice and strong. Good follow through by Wade.
Wade with 11 aces on the season leads the team. Coming off a 6-kill match last night. No errors for her. She hit 667 in that one against Maryland. Wilson had to take some off. Nice rally from both sides. How about Sebelden's solo block? Just when it looked like the Huskies were out of system. Nelson at the block, out of bounds. Point, Washington.
Well, they got back in system. They reorganized, and that was the key. Very good defense for them. Quick reaction and nice adjustments to the net. Nelson is there to be able to tool the block and finish it off with the point that the Husky fans love.
Saw a big fist pump from Jim McLaughlin on the sideline as well. You gotta love it when he sees that effort. Short quick in the middle to Nelson, but the Huskies weren't fooled.
You know, he's a fan too. He's a coach, but he's a fan. He appreciates this number 4 versus number 5. Look at the quick and the quick tempo by Wisconsin. But when you can match your opponent's tempo, especially with the block, that's key.
Carlaney goes outside to the freshman, Kelly Bates. And the Huskies block goes all over it.
Again, Wisconsin wants to play that up-tempo, pretty good speed. Look at the reaction follow through on the face of Nelson.
Tough serve. Libero. Maury trying to keep it alive, and another ace, the 12th of the season for Melanie Wade. And we are tied up here in set 1. Kelly Sheffield looking on with his team. A team with 7 seniors, 6 starters back from last year's national final team. Set to the back and straight down. Some emotion from Courtney Thomas. She's got to readjust her headband.
Some groans from the Husky fans behind us. Oh, that silenced this crowd. But that's the kind of power that Thomas brings to the court.
Haley Nelson, the sophomore out of Cary, North Carolina. He's been very good. And off the block, quick in the middle there. Sebelden connects. Washington didn't go to Sebelden a whole lot last night in the match against Maryland, but she's been much more active here in this one.
Yeah, they're calling her number, and you figure that it's because Wisconsin's got great scouting report on some of these other players, so you love the way that there's some strategy from head coach Jim McLaughlin and trying to get some other looks, trying to keep Wisconsin off balance.
Carlaney able to find Thompson.
Well, the block has been pretty good for the Huskies so far, but Thompson's so quick, and there's no way that Scambray even had a chance. You see that Sebelden was even late.
Strickland did not have a chance either. Back set, it comes right back. Great reaction, and Van Sant can't finish from the back.
You know, there's a question about the free ball, and do you sort of attack on the free ball, or do you just play it over? And Krista Van Sant really just an attack there. But a misread.
Floating serve, a tough one to the back. Carlaney, the slide from Thompson, and the Huskies have their block ready for it. That slide play caused a lot of problems last night for USC.
Well, Thompson really had to go out and chase that. That was not an ideal angle. The Huskies take advantage of that.
Gia Scambray, the freshman out of Dana Point, California, played with the U.S. Youth National Team in the offseason, the under-18 team, and they won the silver. And that experience, so important. Big swing, Kelly Bates, another talented freshman on the other side for Wisconsin. Bates out of Bradley, Illinois. Krista Van Sant. When the pass is perfect and the set's right where she likes it, not much of a chance on the other side.
Just a very difficult angle, too. Found that open floor in that back row. Wisconsin toward the line.
Strickland. Not enough, can't get it over in the service error. Strickland, who was a hitter last year, she's moved into the libero role. And Coach McLaughlin said she's good. I think she can be great in the libero spot. Van Sant had to readjust somehow, able to get it with the left. Good roll shot. Van Sant again.
One of the things that Jim McLaughlin wanted her to improve on was her arm swing on her approach, and you can see that she gets just great lift. She's increased her jump. An all-around great player, some pressure from Jim McLaughlin on Van Sant in the offseason. Just when you think the National Player of the Year couldn't do anything to better her game, she has.
He said she worked on every aspect. We asked her to and challenged her to do just that, and she has. Block in the middle, shuts down Haley Nelson. Wisconsin's really been trying to work the middle, and it has just not been working out. And Kelly Sheffield wants the timeout. He wants to talk things over with his sophomore setter, Lauren Carlini. We are tied up here in set number 1, number 4 Wisconsin and number 5 Washington. Don't go away. We'll have the rest for you right after this.
One of the most decorated Pac-12 volleyball players.
Van Sant with an absolute hammer.
Big time play from a big time player.
Krista Van Sant, Pac-12 Player of the Year.
The National Player of the Year.
Look out, Van Sant. Van Sant rams one down the line.
And she's back for one more season in Seattle.
National Player of the Year. How about the Pac-12 having the last 4 in a row? And Krista Van Sant was the Pac-12 Player of the Year. Maddie Bugg, the setter. Ebony Wannabe, we saw earlier, was the Freshman of the Year. And this head coach for the Huskies, Jim McLaughlin, was the Pac-12 Coach of the Year. His 4th time to be honored. And a tough break out of that timeout as Beals has the service error. We're still in set 1, Tammy, and there's been a lot of serving problems on both sides.
9 total service errors with these two teams.
Big swing, a quick one there, and Van Sant finds the opening in the back.
Jim McLaughlin said, I'm challenging her to be better. I'm challenging her to be great. And while there's many of us that think she's great, she had some areas of her game to improve, and you're seeing one of them.
Off the block, the swing there, and the adjustment from Ellen Chapman. Says a lot about an individual who can be named National Player of the Year and still know that you've got some things to work on and change.
Certainly one of those would be tracking the ball better. We talked about increasing her jump. She's done that, but she's doing so many of the little things that Jim asked her to do.
Back set to Nelson, just wide. And Wisconsin extending the lead. Up by 2 here in set 1.
Chappie getting it done. Ellen Chapman, they affectionately call her Chappie.
Scambray was hoping for the touch. Tried to put a little more on that one, but does not get it. And we are at set point, and Jim McLaughlin wants to call the timeout and see if he can try to find a way to rally. The Wisconsin Badgers picked 3rd in the preseason for Big Ten play. 6 starters back from last season. They are 4-time Big Ten champs. It has been a while, though, but they have made 2 national championship appearances. One of those was last season. They did it in 2000 as well. They lost to Nebraska, and last year they had to meet up with one of the best teams in the nation in Penn State, who ended up winning it and beating them 3-1 in that one. But still, to get there in Kelly Sheffield's first season, what an accomplishment for him.
It was quite a road, and he calls it a magical journey, but he said at the end of the day, they wanted to look at it one more time, the first meeting with his team. He said they watched it, put it behind him, and they're focusing on this year and what a season it can be. You can see the talent early on just in this number 1 set here, Krista, at how good, how balanced this Wisconsin team is. Hard for me to believe that they finished tied for 4th in the Big Ten last year with all the talent they had and all the talent they have coming back, but it shows you the strength of the Big Ten.
Well, it does. They were also a bit dinged up. By the end of the season, Kelly Sheffield said, we were not healthy. We did not have a lot of depth by the time we had to face Penn State in the national final. And some of the Wisconsin fans have made the trek, and that's always a great thing to see.
Yeah, they travel pretty well, and that's one thing that Kelly Sheffield talked about with us earlier this week. And he says when we get healthy and we work on all the little things, he is most impressed with the way that his team is invested in his system and the fact that they are wanting to get better. A lot of his players, he's understanding, are watching a lot of film and asking the right questions. Certainly a good sign for a program on the rise.
5 seasons as a head coach at Dayton. He was at Alabama prior to that. He was a player at Ball State. He's taken his teams to the NCAA's 8 seasons in a row. He is doing something right. He's joust at the net. Big block to hold off.
Wade and Nelson get over, and they close it out. And you see the penetration violation, no net violation. That's textbook.
Kaylee Nelson, another set point, though, for Wisconsin. The Huskies can rally. Back set to Thomas, and it won't matter. A net violation, and first set is going to go to Wisconsin. A close one, back and forth. We thought it would be. We'll see if the Huskies can rally, as we will have set 2 for you right after this. It's the Pac-12 Big Ten Showcase here on Pac-12 Networks.
Sunday, it's a huge day of soccer on Pac-12 Networks. At 1, the men kick things off as 24th-ranked Stanford takes on number 11 Delaware. Then at 3:30, the women take over as the number 4-ranked Cardinal battles Cal Poly. And at 6, top-ranked and reigning national champion UCLA faces LMU.
She's driving hard, trying to frame it up with the left, which she does beyond the reach of the keeper.
Live coverage starts Sunday at 1 on Pac-12 Networks.
So you're telling me there's a new 24-hour sports network and they have baseball every Saturday? I mean, you work hard all week. Well, maybe not that guy. So shouldn't you spend your Saturdays with this guy and this guy? How sweet is that? That's even sweeter than Grammy's homemade cookies, and those are awesome. So every Saturday, you get to sit back and feel like a great old captain. Oh, an even cooler one. Cooler. Yeah, now that's sweet.
This Tuesday night, it's rivalry night on Pac-12 Networks. 2 big rivalries, 2 bigger women's volleyball games. At 6, Cal takes on number 1 ranked Stanford. Then at 8, number 22 UCLA battles number 10 USC. Live coverage starts Tuesday at 6 on Pac-12 Networks.
Glasgow out, throw to Waller. Great catch for the Cal touchdown.
Number 4, Wisconsin takes set number 1 over number 5, Washington, here in Pac-12 volleyball on the campus of the University of Washington. And while the Pac-12 Conference and Pac-12 Networks are honored to join the White House in supporting It's On Us, a campaign to help end sexual assault on college campuses. It's on us to realize we have a role to play in stopping sexual assault. Take the pledge and learn how to be a part of the solution at itsonus.org. So glad to be a part of that initiative, and it's really become a problem across the nation, and hopefully just getting the awareness out there can help so many college students across the country.
Well, the numbers are staggering, and it's upsetting, but it is important to make sure that you get informed about how you can help. Go to that website, itsonus.org. Get informed. Knowledge is power. When you help each other and you openly communicate, it can get better. We can improve this, and we can help the young females and the victims who suffer from this.
Huskies did a nice job with their blocking, but Wisconsin was just a little too much with their hitting, a little better hitting from the Badgers. And allowed them in that back and forth affair to take set number 1.
I think it was the service errors early on for Washington that may have gotten them off track. Another slow start for the Huskies. Something Jim McLaughlin said this morning about last night's match, that he wanted to get out to a better start. We're going to have to figure it out, is what he said. So a very crucial start to set number 2 here.
Lauren Carlini, the sophomore setter, will try to get things going for Wisconsin. And a service error, as we mentioned. They are piling up for both sides, and not the way you want to get it going, but a break for the Huskies. They'll take it. Pass a little off the mark for Carlini, but they're able to get it done as they find Thomas.
Just a beautiful set. You set the seam right there so tight, and she just splits that block.
Hard off the block, big swing there, and Tia Scambray with the kill.
A calm, cool, collected freshman who has a place in this program, and she too reads the block and gets right through that gap. Impressive by the young one.
And Melanie Wade just missing. That's a tough break. Strickland will come back in. Wade will get a breather. Tied up here in set 2. And just missing the back line there. That was close. I'm not quite sure. But nonetheless, they call it out. So back-to-back-to-back service errors.
Consecutive, no doubt. 6 service errors for Washington. 5 service errors for Wisconsin.
Set outside, big swing from Kelly Bates, but the block even bigger on the other side.
Beautifully executed by Wisconsin, but that block was there. Good read. You can see Chrissy Jones hit her left hand. She gets up and locked those arms. That was the critical factor on that block.
Quick in the middle to Thompson. Bates had to take a little off of that one. There's Jones, trying to tip it to that opening in the back. Tanner goes back to Jones. Hard off the block. Bates, tough roll shot, tough angle, and gets it to fall.
Wasn't sure there was much more that Van Sant could do in that back row. I think it fooled her a little bit the way that it came off her hand.
Tanner takes it out to Scambray. She's got that sidearm kind of swing. It's got to be tough to read if you're a blocker on the other side.
It's really the international experience that this Husky Cub points to when they talk about Scambray and why she's so good early on.
Part of the under-23 World Championships team, just one of 4 high school players that got to go play in Mexico. And just catching the line on the side. There's the slide play. Aaron Chapman back in. There's Tia Scambray. Just 2 kills, 4 digs. Sebelden. She's got hops.
Yep, pretty good vert there by Sebelden. She's got some hang time. That gives her a chance to see. She takes a peek. She sees Thompson reaching over to the Thompson's left. And she goes to Thompson's right.
Anna Sebelden, they list her at just 6'1", but can get up.
Good serve by Strickland.
Chapman had to take a little bit off, and it's just enough to go off the block and give the Badgers the serve. Van Sant takes a lot off of that one, almost got it to go. How about Strickland with the up? Chapman right at the block. Badgers keep it going. Solo block from Van Sant. Some emotion by Krista Van Sant.
Well, it's what we talk about with Van Sant there. You know, she plays with a lot of passion. We talked about it last night. As she reads, that is just making a read. It's all about the eye sequence on that and timing.
She just did a herky. I'm almost positive going into that huddle. Tough break right there as they got the tip on the block and just could not control it. Washington hanging on to the 1-point lead here in set 2. Wade, what an adjustment in mid-air with the left.
Wanted it with the right. That ball came across her pretty quickly. She switches hands. Has to reach.
Got the tip around the block. Great vision by Wade. Then Sant out of the back. Big shot, Carlini was able to get there. Then it's Maury and the free ball. Nice hustle from the Badgers.
Well, they're really challenging each other defensively. Pretty quick, although that was a nice high set. So Wisconsin had a little bit of time to get a good look, but with that power, very difficult to stop.
Pass off the mark to Carlini. See if the Huskies can do something with it. Back set to Thomas, off the block and out of bounds. It'll go to Wisconsin.
How big is Taylor Morey for this team? I mean, she is the emotional leader. She's making everything happen. The libero in that back row, digging out balls to make her teammates set up at the net.
She has been busy, that's for sure. Back set to Nelson, so much on it, straight down. What an angle. Caitlin Nelson out of Salem, Oregon, third-team All-American last year.
One of 4 All-Americans returning to the Pac-12 this year that have played in this showcase. Wannabu, Bricio from USC, Van Sant, and Nelson.
Back set to Thomas, and Beals at the last second with the touch. Back and forth we go again. It's a big set right here for the Huskies, hanging on to a 2-point lead. Got to get this one as you go into that break. Big swing and a quick one from Nelson.
You got to ride the momentum when you can, when you've got 2 big teams on a big stage. And right now, Nelson is certainly leading her team, been very consistent.
Bailey Tanner comes back in, the redshirt freshman setter. Big swing from Thomas right at the block. Strickland just wiping up a little bit of the sweat.
Well, she made a great effort on this one, and then she left a streak. Look at this effort there. And on that surface, you're going to have to make sure you wipe that up. You don't want anybody slipping on ensuing plays.
Tip by Sabeld, and what a read. Catches the line. Great decision in the air.
Very pretty, just kind of punches it over. And as good as Taylor Morey is, she realizes there was no chance. She was only hoping that that ball would fall out of bounds, too.
Bates way up. What a set. She gets up.
Carlini is just so good. She's accurate, hittable ball on that jump set. Very athletic.
She knows where her hitters want it, and a tough break there for Kelly Bates. The service error, and now a 3-point lead for the Huskies. Bates, though, how about the freshman coming in, and a team that has 6 starters back and 7 seniors, and has found a way to make the starting lineup. As Jim McLaughlin looks on for his Huskies, hoping to hang on here in set 2. Great hustle from Chrissy Jones, but just too much. Quick movement by the Badgers paid off. The block, not time to get set.
Well, to be honest with you, they weren't expecting that ball to come back over, and so they rallied quickly to get back in shape, and they did. Chapman goes out, hitches her touch point, and she's able to get that one off the block.
Set off the mark from Tanner to Van Sant, and she's very talented, but not much she could do there with that one. And this is probably the biggest question mark for the Huskies. 6 starters back, but they did graduate Jenna Orlandini, their libero, and Jenny Noguera, their other setter in the 6'2". And so it's been a question who would go with Katie Beals this year. Nice up and save from Scambray. Bump set to Van Sant. Chapman had to readjust, and the block was just sitting there waiting on her.
Nice job by Jones, nice job by Wade, and then Van Sant to triple it off, and they only need Jones on that one. Nice springs, explosive, and she's able to pick up the block. Jim McLaughlin really has high praise for this freshman.
Out of Los Alamitos, California. Big solo block there from Melanie Wade. The junior out of Palo Alto, California. And Kelly Sheffield's team will need to talk it over as the Huskies are hanging on to a 3-point lead here in set 2. We'll have the rest for you right after this.
I'm really excited about the progress that we're making. I'm excited about the young players and the way that they're improving. They know our expectations. I think they want to meet those expectations and exceed them.
Great catch for the count, touchdown.
We still got a lot of work to do, obviously, but I like where we're headed.
Let's take a flashback to last season, and the Pac-12 title was on the line, and it was Washington State and Washington, and the Huskies take the title. 18-2 on the season. That was a program record in wins. And this team went on to make it all the way to the national semifinals, which took place right here in Seattle. As you see the conference championship, Stanford holds the most with 15. UCLA has 7. USC with 4. And then Washington, that was their 3rd. Out of the timeout, Wisconsin finds Ellen Chapman. She's really been active tonight and had 9 kills last night in their match against USC, but much more active here tonight. Tough pass for Beals, and a free ball over. A lot on that one from Courtney Thomas off the block. Now just a 1-point lead for the Huskies.
Well, it was such an important timeout, and it was important for the Huskies to come out and rally and keep that momentum alive. But Wisconsin has quieted the Huskies.
Quick in the middle to Wade. There's an answer.
They needed that. That's huge. Now let's see if they can do something with it.
Melanie Wade, part of the Pac-12 All-Star team over the summer. Played over in China. And she's a player that Coach McLaughlin says really seeing things better as they continue to wipe up the sweat. Kelly Sheffield seeing a few more spots on this new Terraflex court.
You know, you're talking about Melanie Wade. She's loved volleyball since she was younger. She went to Palo Alto High School in California. She used to watch women's volleyball at Stanford. No surprise. All she had to do was walk across the street after she closed the textbooks.
With a floater from Van Sant. Van Sant out of the back and had everything on that one.
It's amazing when you can hit a heavy ball that cannot be played out of the back, and that's what players like Van Sant, we see Bricio, she brings that as well.
Another tough serve. And that set off the mark. They're going to call 4 hits. I kind of wondered if the whistle was going to blow, and finally 4 hits. Kelly Sheffield not quite agreeing as the block for Washington had gone up, and I think questioning should have been fair play maybe, but nonetheless a 4-point lead now for the Huskies. Number 5 Washington and number 4 Wisconsin, just like we thought it would be. We'll have the finish here in set 2 right after this.
Saturday, it's a football triple-header on Pac-12 networks. At 11, a showdown in the Rockies as Colorado takes on the Rainbow Warriors of Hawaii. Then at 3, Chris Peterson and the Washington Huskies hope to bring some Southern discomfort to Georgia State. And at 7, it's an exciting Pac-12 shootout in Tucson as the Cal Bears bring their air raid offense into Wildcat country to take on Arizona. Coverage begins Saturday at 10 with a pregame show on Pac-12 networks.
Our whole lives have led up to this game. I want one thing on your mind. Finding someone beautiful on the inside and out.
Viewers today have multiple screens competing for their attention. That's why Comcast Spotlight offers online and TV advertising, so your local message can reach them anytime. And with access to online and cable networks, you can target the exact audience you're looking for.
Love the rides at the Washington State Fair? Then you'll really love saving with the Comcast Weekday Dizzy Pass. Enjoy unlimited, fun-tastic rides. That's right, ride all day long for one low price. Plus, get one free Midway game and one admission to Vision Dome 360. And when you get your Dizzy Pass by September 4th, you'll save even more. Big savings for the biggest party in the state, the Washington State Fair in Puyallup. Get your Dizzy Pass today at thefair.com.
Beautiful shot of the brand new Husky Stadium, and tomorrow it's another football-filled Saturday with 3 big games in the lineup on Pac-12 Networks. Starts at 11, Hawaii traveling to Boulder, taking on the Buffs, and then at 3, the Washington Huskies will try to stay undefeated and as they host Georgia State, and then at 7, Cal and Arizona go head-to-head in Tucson. That's a marquee Pac-12 matchup. It all starts at 10 a.m. with the football pregame show live right here on Pac-12 Networks.
There's no doubt I've been looking forward to that Cal-Arizona matchup, and there's no doubt that these Husky fans have been looking forward to number 4, number 5, Wisconsin, and Huskies. Wisconsin upset number 1. Can the Huskies come out of this break and continue their momentum with a 4-point lead?
Chapman had to take some off. Nice save from Beals and Strickland, and the free ball. Chapman again, and just too much. It seems as though when Washington's not quite set, they go to the quick arm of Ellen Chapman.
And I certainly think that on that last play, Strickland slipped. She lost her footing, no doubt. I'm not making an excuse, but she is calling for the towel girl to come over and continuing to wipe that surface.
Chapman, service error, so they'll hand it right back to the Huskies, and Sebelden will come back in. Short, quick there, and great hustle in the back row from the Huskies. Bates, what an angle, what a shot. And coming up, you want to stay tuned. We'll have our intermission report from our Pac-12 Network studios with Roz Golden-Mude, and she'll have some highlights from the Maryland and number 10 USC match previously, and then also the sports report update. So make sure you stay tuned for that. There is so much going on in Pac-12 athletics right now, and Roz Golden-Mude is going to get you caught up on everything.
No doubt our friend Roz will talk about Ebony Wannabu and the match that she had for USC, and Mick Haley's 350th win as the head coach at USC.
Nelson, big hops, gets up, nice hustle. Right there was Demi Morales, but just could not get there, and a point to the Huskies. Kelly Sheffield wants the timeout. As Washington now with a 4-point lead here in set 2.
He feels like it's important enough to stop what he feels is a Husky run, and you can feel a little bit momentum shifting here to Washington. Seems like the last 5-6 points have settled in a little bit.
Last season, how about a 30-3 year, 18-2, again winning the Pac-12 championship. That's a record in wins in conference play. They were national champs in 2005. They've taken 3 conference championships total, but since Jim McLaughlin in particular has taken over this team, they were in last place back in 2000. He took it over and just turned things around. National Coach of the Year in 2004. And they've also grown quite the fan base here at Alaska Airlines Arena. A lot of big fans. They have followed this program, and they have been very happy with the success, and hosting the national semifinals and finals last year. Some great volleyball action from this program and throughout the Pac-12. And how about the Pac-12 in the national rankings? Number 1 Stanford remains undefeated. Texas is right behind them as well. These 2 teams at the 4 and 5 spots undefeated, as well as Florida State.
You can only hope that when Jim McLaughlin looks around as his team comes out to the court and he has a number 5th ranking in the nation. AVCA rankings, there it is right there. And he looks at the crowd. You hope he feels good about what he's done, because he puts an entertaining product, and he's created a really nice tradition here as the head coach for the Huskies women's volleyball program.
Thompson on the slide. The block not quite the right angle. It goes out and it'll go to the Badgers. So a good timeout for Wisconsin. Thomas with the serve. Slide again to Thompson, and it catches the back corner. Strickland was hoping that one had too much on it.
Deep and on the line. Tough to defend, and Strickland pulls out of the way, and that ball just so close. But Thompson so effective on that slide play.
Jim McLaughlin wants the timeout, as the Huskies now with just a 2-point lead. A little rally coming out of the last timeout by the Badgers. He's a coach that is interesting in how he looks at things. He really draws things up. He's always got the kind of the dry erase boards, and he continues to talk to this team about learning how to learn and learning to get better. And it's tough, he said, sometimes when a player has learned something a certain way, they've had decent success. It's hard to get them to understand that maybe they need to change it. So,
and he says everybody needs to learn how to change. And the Pac-12, there's some news and notes happening around 3 teams in the top 10, 7 teams in the top 25. Number 1, Stanford. You're seeing the 5th-ranked team in the nation, Washington, and we saw earlier the USC Trojans at number 10. And through 3 weeks, they lead 9-4 in the Big Ten. Pac-12 Challenger, the showcases they're calling it here. It is a 4-year rotation. Next week's a big week on tap for Pac-12 Networks. The conference matches begin next week. Krista, catch all the action right here on Pac-12 Networks. I know you and I are preparing for that. Dipping into a little bit of soccer along the way, too. A very active time of the year for all of us.
It is conference play for both of these teams. It'll be Penn State, the matchup for Wisconsin, and for the Washington Huskies, they will start things off the way they finished conference play last year, and that's facing Washington State. And they will hit the road. They will go to Cal, and that will be an interesting matchup also. The Washington State getting a win tonight. Everybody in the conference playing to finish things off before conference play begins.
It will be critical for the Huskies to respond to the situation at hand, something Jim McLaughlin says we work on in practice quite a bit. How will they respond here after this timeout?
Tanner to Scambray, and she takes it right into the block. Lauren Carlini.
And this crowd is trying to get some momentum shift back for the Huskies. They're standing there behind this team, but Wisconsin pretty good right now.
Carlini back set to Thompson. There's that slide again. Scambray, big windup. Chrissy Jones, nice reaction time. Great rally on both sides. Vincent, and just too much on it, and we are tied up here.
And Kelly Sheffield, the head coach of Wisconsin, knows that that is big. This is a Washington Huskies volleyball club that had pulled away. They were chipping away, certainly had the momentum. A couple of strategic timeouts by that head coach right there, and look what happens. We are knotted up. We've got ourselves another great set.
But the service error, as Thomas had decided to shift where she would take the serve, and service error gives the 1-point lead back to the Huskies.
9 service errors for Wisconsin, 6 service errors for Washington. Chris, if you would have asked me earlier today, would these teams have erred as much from the service line, I would have said no way.
Bates hard off the block. And we are tied up again. Substitutions. Kelly Sheffield always up talking to his team. He was the Volleyball Magazine National Coach of the Year last year. And he's going to bring in a substitution. It's Caroline Workman, senior defensive specialist. Vincent, big swing. And a big block. It started with Van Sant. It finished with Van Sant.
Well, here inside Alaska Airlines Arena, they have the Jumbotron saying it's a block party, and you can see right there, there's an ensuing celebration from what was a big block.
Anissa Belden was also there. She may have really had the majority of that, but nonetheless, the triple presence at the net for the Huskies. Blocking differential, 12-2 for the Huskies. Chapman had to take some off, and Strickland could not quite get there.
Tanner had a notion as she stood to Strickland's right, but that is going to be Strickland's ball right there, and just couldn't reach it. Good spin and certainly good velocity.
What an angle and shot right at the coaching staff of the Wisconsin Badgers by Van Sant. But just wide, and now Wisconsin with a 1-point lead. They've already taken set one, and so Jim McLaughlin says, okay, we got to make an adjustment right here.
Well, Krista, you were talking about Jim and what he focuses on in practice and his dry erase boards and being willing to change, and he's asking his team to make some changes. Most importantly, he says, we have one thing up on our dry erase board that we go over all the time. It's about responding to situations. He said, Tammy, Krista, earlier this week, I talk a lot about responding in certain situations in practice. It's nice to win, but it is not good enough. And he was quoted to the media this morning after their win last night saying, we've got to iron out the details. It's nice to win, but it's not good enough. And he knew how difficult this opponent was going to be tonight.
Hey, wants his team to improve. It's not good enough just to win. And they work on every single thing they do in practice. He said that's the way it should be and what they will see in a match. You see the resume for Jim McLaughlin, national champs in 2005. The only team to win every single set on the way to that championship. And they've been to the semifinals 4 times. Had a lot of success in his 14 seasons. He's had 20-plus winning seasons every single year but one.
He has won a national championship on the men's side as well as the women's side. Was a heck of a player in college. Ended up playing the last 2 years at UC Santa Barbara. Knows a thing or two about volleyball, and he just makes the sport better.
The only coach to have won a championship on both the men's and women's side, and he was a coach for USC on the men's side. Pretty impressive. Make sure you shoot us a tweet if you see something you like. Hashtag WISC versus UW. And out of the timeout, a good one for the Huskies. Tying it back up.
That's what a timeout will do. It'll give you a chance to just draw something up or just settle your team down, and that's what you expect. Players have to step up and do things after they come out of a huddle. Coaches can only do so much. Kelly Sheffield looking on.
Big swing from Ellen Chapman. And a big one from Krista Van Sant. We are at set point for the Huskies.
And this is what it's about. We ticked you in the open about you couldn't have dialed it up better, number 4 versus number 5.
Chapman. It may have gone wide, but they'll say yes. There was no touch. It goes wide. Everybody for Wisconsin saying there had to be a tip. But nonetheless, they're not going to get it. So we are split 1 set apiece here at the break. Number 5, Washington rallies back to take set 2 to number 4, Wisconsin. Well, coming up right after these messages, we'll take it to our Pac-12 Network studios for the Pac-12 Intermission Report with Roz Golden Wude. We've got a good one. We'll have set 3 for you after that, right here on Pac-12 Networks.
You're watching Pac-12 Washington, available on Xfinity, only from Comcast.
Watch Golf Channel anytime, anywhere with the Golf Live Extra app. Watch tournament action while in the office. Catch breaking news while you're out on the course.
We're set to crown a new world #1.
Get the best in golf tournaments, news.
Hello and welcome into Golf Central.
And more. 24/7.
Let's do this!
Download the Golf Live Extra app today.
It's the kitchen.
All of us have something that is our specialty.
Jeffrey's the authority. I'm actually learning something.
Katie is into healthy cooking.
It's so fresh and bright.
Well, I think I'm a class clown. We just have fun. Bada bing. Bada boom. You get us all in one room together, it is the perfect storm of humor and information.
You're gonna love this. Yeah. We wouldn't do this show with any other group of people.
To the kitchen!
All new The Kitchen, Saturday morning at 11 on Food Network.
All right, that's a wrap.
It's on us to stop sexual assault.
To get in the way before it happens.
To get a friend home safe.
And to not blame the victim.
It's on us.
To look out for each other.
To not
look the other way.
It's on us to stand up.
To step in.
To take responsibility.
It's on us, all of us,
to stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
Due to time constraints, we now move ahead in game action.
Well, coming up on Wednesday, number 5 Washington will start Pac-12 play against Washington State. And the coverage continues on Pac-12 networks for you with that one, as we have this number 5 team. Will be at 7:30 on Pac-12 networks across the conference. Everybody playing tonight. Utah had to go to BYU, number 12 team in the nation, and they got swept. So the first loss of the year for them. And then how about number 18 Arizona State facing number 8 Colorado State in a 5-setter, and it goes to Colorado State. So some tough losses for some of the Pac-12 teams as they all get ready to start Pac-12 play. And out of the timeout, a good one for the Huskies.
So you see that these Pac-12 teams are playing up. They're getting ready for the Pac-12, and that's a good Colorado State team that Arizona State lost to in 5 sets. And of course, we know how good BYU is. In fact, this Washington team played BYU. What a tough matchup that was. The Huskies came out victorious.
Good rally on both sides, and there's that slide play. Dominique Thompson, the redshirt senior out of Plymouth, Minnesota.
Good tempo here, but the timing was better, and it was a better set. She's able to split that block. Melanie Wade, as the middle blocker, couldn't quite get over to close it out. She has to kind of stay home and read Thompson so quick.
Thompson, who played with the U.S. college national team in the offseason in Minnesota. So many of the student athletes on all of these teams are part of that program. Set off the mark. There's Van Sant with that lefty touch just at the last minute. Tanner just continues to try to get it to Van Sant. And the block covered a lot of ground on that one was Krista Van Sant.
Yeah, she's really the high work rate on that sequence there. You see, she covered a lot of court. And Nelson kind of came over, and Van Sant just read that one as she leaned. She drifted slightly to get her hands on it. Good touch.
Katie Beals back in. Junior setter out Austin with the serve. There's a slide play set up that time for Haley Nelson.
If you were to have an ISO tape of Lauren Carlini, the setter for Wisconsin, she is so good at not allowing the block for the opponent to read where she's going to set.
To the middle, and Van Sant. Van Sant again, Carlini able to get a hold of that one. And there's Chapman, big swing, finds the back line.
It had to be deep in order to hit that hole. You see, Beals was playing on that side, but she was in front of Strickland, who would have had that back line coverage. And she perfectly placed that. Nice job by Chapman.
Badgers now with a 2-point lead here in set 3. It has been a back and forth affair as we are split 1 set apiece. This Wisconsin team with 6 starters back, 7 seniors, and they made it to the national final last season, which took place here in Seattle. And they eventually lost to number 2 Penn State, who took the championship. As you see Ellen Chapman, 13 kills for her. Here are 3 digs also. And she had 9 kills last night in the win against USC. Had 5 matches in a row prior to that one with double-figure kills. And she's already got that one here tonight. So for Wisconsin, this is how things will start for them in Big Ten play. They are going to have to face Penn State. They will get to do that at home, and then Ohio State as well, and then they'll have to hit the road. And got a chance to see that number 16 Illinois team earlier as they took part in also a Big Ten Pac-12 matchup, and they were at Stanford for that one. And this is what the Washington Huskies will see. They will start Pac-12 play against Washington State, and then they will hit the road against the Cal Bears. And nothing like facing a couple of ranked teams after that, and that's the way it's going to be. There are no nights off when Pac-12 play starts.
Well, both of these conferences, such great volleyball conferences, are going to have to get busy quickly. You mentioned earlier, Krista, that Wisconsin starts with Penn State. They only see them once, as you said. Thank goodness they only see Nebraska once as well. Both of those matches being played at home.
See if the Huskies can make some adjustments. As the Badgers has extended their lead, and that one just going wide. A break for Washington. What a great decision on that one for Haley Nelson. The tip up and over. She got the block all the way over and fooled them.
Again, just a nice read as Scambray goes up, and she sees Strickland for that coverage there in the back, and she almost makes it look so easy.
Crowd trying to make some noise. Strickland, pass not quite there. The bump set to Scambray, and it works.
She didn't like the fact that Nelson was able to get one over that block, so she comes back on the offense in this sequence here, and she blows that ball, hammers it right by Courtney Thomas.
Back set, big swing from Courtney Thomas.
You see the competitive edge that each of these players have. Scambray goes right by Thomas. Thomas comes right back, splits the block.
15 kills for Courtney Thomas.
Player-to-player, head-to-head competition. It's great to see these players play at an elite level. These are elite players.
Tough shot, Carlini. She'll try to take it over. Thomas, beautiful pancake from Strickland. Bates, big swing through the block, and the point to Wisconsin.
You know, that was a great adjustment by Strickland. It didn't happen last time, so she had to adjust, maybe anticipate it again. She got the pancake, but Wisconsin's so good, they come back.
3-point lead now for the Badgers here in set 3. Short, quick, Sebelden with authority.
Krista, as soon as that pass happened, Sebelden said, give me that ball. She knew exactly this was the opportunity to get the middle set because it was a great pass. She had intentions of putting that one away.
And sand out of the back. Bates trying to tip it up and over that triple block, and they're going to call net violation against the Huskies. So set point now for the Badgers.
Here comes the triple block, not uncommon for Washington.
Still got it on the way down, didn't see it at the top. Courtney Schwann in now for the Huskies, right there with the block. How about the freshman coming in with the big play? Tia Scambray back to serve. Wisconsin set point number 2, but Kelly Sheffield wants to talk things over. He wants to figure out a way to finish things off, and for the Huskies, they're going to try to find a way to extend it out. Tia Scambray will be serving.
Scambray in there, freshman. Courtney Schwann in there, she's a freshman. This crowd loves her. She's from Auburn, Washington, 2-time Gatorade Washington Player of the Year. Big time on that block.
saw her play last night against Maryland. She had 4 kills, no errors. But again, for some of these young players, it's just a matter of time. Them getting the reps and getting the system down.
He felt very good, Jim McLaughlin, about his freshman class. He said they're all great student athletes. They're all students of the game, very coachable. There's one of them right there that he's spending a little bit of time with in the huddle, freshman Tia Scambray.
Set point for the Badgers. They took set number 1, the Huskies able to take set 2, and they're trying to hang on here in set 3. Both of these teams, a lot of experience back from very good seasons last year. This crowd trying to get into it as well, as classes will start next week. Big football game tomorrow.
Class is starting next week. You mean this isn't the NCAA tournament? Because it feels like it inside the arena.
Thompson tries to punch it to the back, and it works. Set number 3 goes to number 4, Wisconsin, and they will take the lead 2 sets to 1 over the Huskies. The Badgers able to get it done there in the back and forth affair. We'll see if the Huskies can rally and have set 4 for you.
This Tuesday night, it's rivalry night on Pac-12 networks. 2 big rivalries, 2 bigger women's volleyball games. At 6, Cal takes on number 1 ranked Stanford. Then at 8, number 22 UCLA battles number 10 USC. Live coverage starts Tuesday at 6 on Pac-12 networks.
I'm Mark Helfrich, head football coach at the University of Oregon, and you're watching Pac-12 Networks.
Number 4 Wisconsin takes a 2-1 lead over number 5 Washington here in Seattle for the Pac-12 Big Ten Showcase, brought to you by ASICS. For Wednesdays at 7, see the drama unfold inside UCLA football with an all-access pass into the Bruins 2014 season. It's Pac-12 Network's groundbreaking documentary, The Drive. Check out a new episode Wednesday at 7 right here on Pac-12 Network.
Great episode there. Always like it when Jim Mora is mic'd up. You get the inside look at how he trains him, and there's a lot of happy fans. Pharrell's Happy Song is playing here, and there's some happy fans, but Washington has to figure out a way to come back as Wisconsin leads this 2 sets to 1. A crucial set 4 here, Krista.
Both teams hitting about the same, but service errors on both sides have been problems, and just a kills differential, though, for Wisconsin. Blocking differential, though, there's some extremes for both teams, and that's the way it's been. All of these sets have been so close, back and forth. It could go any direction. These fans are hoping it will go to 5. And so is Jim McLaughlin and his staff. Had the lead, had a lot of ties, and Kelly Sheffield's team, though, able to get it done there in set 3. Always up talking to his team. And the success that he has had in a very short amount of time. This is his 2nd year as the head coach, but his last 8 years in a row, he's taken his teams to the NCAA tournament. 5 seasons with Dayton, 7 at Alabama prior to that. He is doing something right.
He's a smart guy. Both of these coaches are.
Low set to Van Sant, but she gets there. Badgers keep that one going. Beals hadn't seen that the entire match. Tries for the dump. Good reach there from Scambray. Hard shot from Van Sant into the solo block, and she gets it.
Well, the Huskies were mixing it up. They're trying not to be too predictable. And you mentioned Beals. She'll take that second ball in the dump. Didn't work. But then to close things out, Van Sant.
Back set to Nelson. Haley Nelson for the Badgers.
You see Thompson execute that, and now you see that they've got another weapon in Nelson who can execute that just as well.
Back set Van Sant. It was perfectly placed, but so was Carlini. Quick arm by Bates, and it's wide, and the point and serve back for Washington.
Well, good idea by Bates to try to tool the block, but it doesn't work. And so she's wide. An opportunity here for Washington with Van Sant back to serve.
Back set to Thomas. The block read that one.
Scambray and Wade are so good. Scambray gets that one, and fist pump by the freshman. She knows how big that is.
Big swing, big hops by Kelly Bates.
I thought Nelson and Wade were there, but a big swing by the freshman who's able to put it through the block.
Set outside to Bates. Tries to get it around that triple block. Van Sant out of the back. It comes right back to her. Back set to Thomas, and just a little out of position, and Thomas able to find the hole.
She's got some big-time numbers. Courtney Thomas, we mentioned her great story, was the setter for 2 years for Wisconsin, lost that spot to the great Lauren Carlini, who sets for them now. Fighting for a position, she's really earned it.
Big swing, perfect set outside of Tia Scambray. She's starting to come on now. Had a little bit of a slow start.
But she is so defensive and offensive-minded. She plays well on both sides, and that is so critical. It's hard to really not have her on the court.
20 more kills for the Badgers. Bates right into that triple block. Thomas tried to tip it over. Scambray was there, and just missing wide was Thomas.
You see Scambray there just adjust, and that ball went hammering right past her, but out.
Quick from Thomas in the middle, and Wade not quite ready.
So many tools this Wisconsin team has, and then when you look at each of the individual attackers, they each have individual skill sets, so it really runs deep.
Dominique Thompson, very impressive. Big swing from Bates.
Good coverage by Morey.
There's the block again, and somehow the Badgers keep it going. Thompson, there's more block from the Huskies. And just too much for Sebelden, and the net violation against the Huskies.
Morey was involved as the libero for Wisconsin in every single one of those plays to keep that rally alive.
Tied up here in set number 4. Sebelden, full swing on that one, and the free ball from the Badgers. Big swing from Kaylee Nelson, and the finish.
A little quiet for Kaylee Nelson for the last few minutes, but that was a big-time one as she'll go out. Rotation, the freshman back in, Courtney Schwann. So we got 2 freshmen in the front row for the Huskies. Schwann and Scambray.
Thompson, the slide right at the block. Excellent movement there by the Husky block. Tia Scambray and Liana Sebelden getting it done.
The key to that is just those locked arms, holding those hard.
Second ball over by Carlini, no good. Bates just wide. The crowd wanted a lift call prior to that, or maybe a double hit, but it worked in their favor anyway. Ooh, so close. I thought that might have been on the line, but yeah. How about Tanner? She'll get some assistance from the net. 4th ace of the year for that player, Bailey Tanner.
And you can see that every official call, the referee's call, and Kelly Sheffield probably not happy with that. As a result, Washington comes right back and is now just trying to pull away.
4-point lead's a big lead in this match. It's been very difficult to extend it out. Scambray, Maury got a hold of it and coming in under the net. You can do that as long as you do not interfere with the athletes on the other side, but they're going to say that I believe she touched. She made contact.
It was outside the antenna.
Absolutely.
Yep. Good call by the referee there.
So a 5-point lead by the Huskies here in set 4. Trying to continue to extend it out and extend this to 5. We'll see if they can do it right after this on Pac-12 Networks. That is one way to make your way over to the campus of the University of Washington. Here in Seattle, we've got a good one. Number 4, Wisconsin up 2-1, but it's the Huskies up by 5 here in set 4. Krista Blanc along with Tammy Blackburn, and the fans have made their way here to Alaska Airlines Arena, and we've got a good one. We expected it. It has been back and forth, and it can go any direction, and both coaches using a lot of timeouts, making little tweaks and adjustments. That's how close this match has been. This 5-point lead is a big one, actually. It has been just so back and forth. Tanner back to serve. Bates. One freshman to the other.
That's right. Well said, partner.
Bates right at Courtney Schwann.
And Courtney Schwann, she's got the fist pump down now. I think she's learned from a few of her teammates.
Bates will try it again, this time a better angle around the block. And the Badgers will take it.
Another strategic substitution for Kelly Sheffield as Workman will come in to serve.
Chapman takes some off of that one. She's been quiet. They had gone to her so much early in this match. Scambray off the block. It was a tough set to her, but the athleticism by Tia Scambray pays off.
And that was a big dig for Strickland. Her numbers aren't quite what Maury has for Wisconsin, but Strickland is playing big time.
Don't forget to tweet us at #WISC versus UW. Let us know what you like, what you're seeing. We're seeing some great Pac-12 volleyball. 2 of the best teams in the nation here. And a big lead now for the Huskies.
Don't forget, Wisconsin comes into this challenge, or this showcase, if you will, leading the nation in kills.
The kills number has definitely been there tonight, but it's the blocking of the Huskies, and Sabella making the decision to take that ball right over, and it pays off.
Fans have a lot to cheer about here as she just makes another great read, and just wondering if the Huskies can sustain this momentum with the fan support behind them. An unfortunate service error there by the freshman Scambray. That's 13 service errors Wisconsin, and make that 10 service errors for Washington.
Tough serve to handle from Maury, and the free ball over to the Badgers. And Chapman can't believe she missed that one. For the frustration from Ellen Chapman. She's a player that worried quite about making mistakes, and Coach Sheffield said she's much better about it this year, and with her senior season has a bit of an urgency about her. And another service here. Strickland has really struggled from the service line. Got to find a way to shake it off. Carlini now. And that one floats long. Back-to-back service errors. They just keep changing that graphic.
These coaches have such a great appreciation for each other and where they've been and what they've done. They just do so much for the sport of women's volleyball.
Great decision there from Haley Nelson as she tips it over. She is an excellent decision maker at the net. Tough set for Bates to get to, but able to hit it off the block.
The one thing that you have seen from Kelly Bates throughout this showcase is her maturity.
Crowd trying to get back in as Wisconsin pulls within 6. And Van Sant takes it right at Bates. It's a big block. She knows it.
We talked about that maturity of hers, and Kelly Sheffield says she handles pressure well. In their victory over Colorado State, he thought that really shined through for her.
So the Badgers making a run, not going away. They're down 5 here in set 4. Well, there's been a lot of success in the Pac-12 for women's volleyball, and 9 teams qualifying last year to the NCAA tournament, and it was a record for the conference. And a lot of talent from those teams right back here with 13 All-Americans, Tammy.
That's right, 2 of them right here on the court right now, Van Sant and Nelson. Of course, we saw 2 of them earlier, Wannabu and Bricio, but how about the 9 teams that made it to the postseason, and great representation for the Pac-12. You wouldn't expect otherwise.
Well, they went 8-1 in the first round also, so they not only got there, but then they were able to move on. But you're also looking at 14 championships, the most of any conference. So a lot of success and a good timeout for the Huskies as that player Bates and the Badgers had gone on a roll prior. Triple block by the Huskies. Block has been on. That has been a big plus for Washington.
Credit Wade for that. I mean, she does a nice job. First of all, Nelson has to take the outside of that triple block, but you see Wade and good timing, good ups there.
Blocking differential is staggering, 22-5 the block, but the kills have gone the way of the Badgers, and that's why this one has been so close. This is the biggest lead that we have seen this entire match, as it has been so close, but a 7-point lead now here in set number 4 for the Huskies. And they would love to push this one to 5. Both teams undefeated coming into this one. So take a look at the NCAA news and notes. Stanford, the #1 team in the nation. They defeated Penn State. And that was a big one, big turning point for them. Florida getting the National Player of the Week. They made their way to USC last weekend, and they were a very tough opponent for the Trojans. And how about LMU getting some rankings and a good start for them, another West Coast team making some national waves.
I'm sure head coach Tom Black for Loyola Marymount's pretty pleased with that start, the 12-0 record. By the way, Loyola Marymount not too far from us right now, playing up at Washington State in their invitational before the Pac-12 conference starts, and they are one of 3 WCC teams. It's San Diego, another great team. Stanford just beat San Diego the other night, 3-1. So again, a small circle of volleyball schools playing up and playing each other, playing the best, getting ready for conference season.
12 kills tonight for Krista Van Sant. She had the same last night in their win against Maryland. She also had 11 digs. These fans have been in this one. They They'd love to extend it out a little longer. Why not? Friday night here in Seattle.
Beautiful day today, Krista, too, outside, and good to see everybody coming inside this evening for great volleyball.
Courtney Thomas, big swing from her. She has been good.
Sort of a Chamber of Commerce day for Seattle and a Chamber of Commerce day for the Washington Huskies as they battle back in the crucial set 4.
That was the 17th kill for Thomas. They have 4 players now in double-figure kills. And the Huskies go outside to Nelson, and she gets the point.
She's been on spot, too. Not many errors for her. She's taken 29 attempts.
Nelson with 11 kills on the evening. Bates. Block got a little bit of that one, and the free ball over to the Badgers. Belden in the middle. She has really been good from there, and that time Bates just a little bit off. And an 8-point lead now for the Huskies. Thomas can't quite handle that serve, and Washington gets a chance here. So Belden, she's had such a big swing every single time, and that time up above everybody just tips it down.
You know, we just didn't see her, as you mentioned, Chris, a whole lot last night, but they have been calling her number. It just provides for more weapons. It makes Wisconsin have to think a little bit more because you've got Van Sant on one side, Nelson, we know what Wade can do in the middle, but now they get Sebelden involved in this match, and I think that's really been a key to this match.
7 kills for her, no errors for Liana Sebelden, junior out of Folsom, California.
How about hitting .438?
How about Thompson right there? So athletic.
She's got 11 kills. She's hitting .300.
Jim McLaughlin looking at the charts. Hadn't seen that one yet. Couple of options. Big swing from Nelson. And Bates again too far off and cannot finish.
Jim McLaughlin being regular with this substitution. Courtney Schwann, the freshman, who we've seen consistently.
She definitely has not hurt this team as she's come into the rotation. A lot of positives. Taylor Ficano has checked in for the Badgers. Tried to tip that one up and over, and instead it goes wide. Kelly Sheffield just trying to mix it up a little bit to stop this run by the Huskies. Ficano again gets it through the block. She's glad to be getting some time.
She was pretty loose before this match when this Wisconsin team was watching USC and Maryland. She was dancing up in between sets and the music. She touches about 10-7.5, so she's got some definite range and can be lethal. She goes in and does exactly what Kelly Sheffield wants her to do.
Redshirted last season. Tipped over by Schwann. Chapman off the block, and Sebelden doing all she could, but can't keep it alive. The Badgers will take it.
I know that we're mixing up Olympic sports here. We see a little soccer, but Sebelden tries to get her foot on it to keep it alive.
Another tough serve from Workman. Arlini tries to take that second ball over. Big play from Sebelden, the overpass, and she knew exactly what to do with it, and we are at set point for the Huskies.
And if they gave away a set player honor, you'd have to certainly give it to Sebelden in this one. She's hitting .471. 8 kills, and she's just made some big-time plays and great reads.
Scambray can't finish it off. The serve goes long. Another set point to Washington. Van Sant. Mori, the libero, though. Quick to Sabelden. I think you had to give it to her. Set 4 goes to Washington, and we will go to a 5th. These fans liking their dogs. 2 sets apiece here. Number 4, Wisconsin, and number 5. We'll have the 5th for you right after this on Pac-12 Networks.
There's nothing like the energy at Folsom Field when you come out of the tunnel and the crowd rises and the flat irons behind it and how the sound echoes off the flat irons. It's an exciting place to be. And when Ralphie roars and runs is an exciting time. Our players love running out behind Ralphie. She's running fast and it's exciting, and the atmosphere of it and the way the crowd reacts. It's a gorgeous animal that represents our university well.
Washington is a fantastic and fun place to live with diverse people, ideas, and great happenings. Here are just a few that Comcast Spotlight invites you to enjoy. Get the scoop on these local happenings and more at recroom.com.
Your opportunity has arrived. Now's your chance to join the Comcast team as a direct sales representative.
The pay is excellent. The harder you work, the more you make.
Schedule's phenomenal. You really are your own boss.
The benefits are fabulous.
It's nice working for a company with the most innovative products on the market.
There is a lot of opportunity to move within the company.
Plus, Comcast will provide your sales training, giving you the tools you need for long-term career growth. There are open positions in your area. Come show us what you've got. For more information, visit comcast.com/DSRjobs.
Number 5 Washington just took set 4, and we are going into a 5th over number 4 Wisconsin here in the Pac-12 Big Ten Showcase, brought to you by ASICS, and it has been exactly what we had hoped it would be. The numbers a little off balance in some areas, Tammy, but very close in others.
Yeah, well, hitting, I mean, Wisconsin's really dipped, and you have to credit Washington's defense. They're up about 254, pretty good. The service aces, I would have never thought 25 between these two, or excuse me, service errors, 25 between these two teams. Kills, Wisconsin leading that category with 63.
Kelly Sheffield up talking to his freshman Kelly Bates. A team that's full of seniors, 7 to be exact, but she has made her way into a starting role. He said, I thought we would ease her into the rotation a little bit later, but she's just so dynamic, and she has earned the spot. You can see some serious emotion by the Huskies. They would love to stay undefeated. Both of these teams have yet to have a loss on the year. Washington at 10-0, Wisconsin at 9-0. See who can get it done. Will serve it up for Washington. Van Sant finds the sideline.
Big time hit, a heavy ball, big arm. Not surprised they chose her to set the tone. In
the middle, quick arm there. As Melanie Wade with the finish.
Mix it up, set the middle. Van Sant certainly was an option. They were both available. But when you can, do it quick and hit Wade, and that's why.
So 2 in a row for Washington to start off this 5th set. What a tricky move there from Carlini. Over the back, and the Huskies looking up. They thought maybe that was going to get called for a lift, but instead, no whistle.
I was wondering the same thing myself, but you see how clever Carlini is.
1-point lead for Jim McLaughlin's team, and Morey back to serve. Strickland gets the up. Bump set for Van Sant and just wide. And the Badgers will tie things up.
Really challenging for Strickland to do that, but I thought she bump set a beautiful set to give Van Sant a chance.
Wade, smart play. Carlini with the pancake, and just going long was Courtney Thomas.
That would have been remarkable if Wisconsin would have scored on that. Great effort by Carlini.
Excellent plays on both sides as Wade read the block, but even better defensive play by Carlini. And Sant able to get there. And off the mark was Kaylee Nelson.
Rare air there, and that type of a situation for the veteran Nelson. But I tell you, you have to admire the defense of this Huskies volleyball program, especially Van Sant, so good in the back.
Wade in the middle, hard off the block, and gets it to go.
Love her being able to serve. She's a great server. 32 aces from Wade last year.
She's the best on the team this season, and she had one already tonight. Scambray, big swing into the block and out of bounds, and the Huskies get it.
This is the way that Jim McLaughlin thought he ought to dial this up or draw this up on his dry erase board before coming out to play set number 5. This is a good start for the Huskies.
Perfect pass, and somehow Beals keeps it going. At that time, just too quick and too much. Haley Nelson with the finish.
Good for Sebelden to get that ball out of the net, but Wisconsin too much on the other side when they have an opportunity.
1-point lead for Washington. And Sant out of the back. Carlini ricocheting off, and they'll say net violation on the Badgers.
Take a look at the net violation, and there it was, just at the tip of the tape with the inside of the arm. So close, but the right call.
Back set to Thomas. The block was there. It has been so good for the Huskies. Sebelden.
She's playing at another level right now.
She pointed at Bailey Tanner, the redshirt freshman, and said, "That is where I like it. Yes, I like what you give me." The Huskies with a 3-point lead here in set 5. Can they pull off the upset? We'll find out after this. Great energy from this crowd here at Alaska Airlines Arena on the campus of the University of Washington. And we've got some spectacular Pac-12 volleyball with the Pac-12 Big Ten Showcase. Number 4 Wisconsin in town taking on number 5 Washington. And we are in set 5 where the Huskies have a 3-point lead over the Badgers. Mr. Blanc along with Tammy Blackburn, and Tammy, this crowd making some noise.
As they should. I mean, this is elite volleyball right here that they're witnessing, and glad that they all came out to pack Alaska Airlines Arena for this great one, and it's just been so exciting.
Both of these teams have yet to lose a match this season. And somebody obviously will here tonight as out of that timeout. A good one for the Badgers. Go to the back with a block on the other side, though. Ready Van Sant facing a triple block out of the back row.
Two crucial points for Wisconsin out of that break, and Kelly Sheffield knows that as soon as that point was scored, he raised both hands in the air. He knows that they had to stay close.
The Badgers pull within one, and Jim McLaughlin's going to call the timeout and try to make some adjustments. See if they can hang on to this lead and extend it out and maybe finish this off. Obviously, if they could get the win over the number 4 team, they would move up in the polls. It's been an excellent start for Jim McLaughlin's team, a team that has 6 starters back, just 2 seniors, though, from a team that made it to the national semifinals last season with a loss to Penn State, but 30 wins on the year for Jim McLaughlin. And they won the Pac-12 title, 18-2 on the year. After this one, they will start Pac-12 play, and they will face Washington State to kick it off. Fans enjoying themselves. Classes will just begin this coming week. It's a big plus when they are here on campus.
Well, there's a nice mix of students. There's a nice mix of fans, longtime fans, even young children. Lots of signs. They all have their favorite players. You see the homemade poster boards around and the purple pom-poms. It's great to see the excitement for women's volleyball. Such a great sport.
It certainly is hard to believe that Pac-12 play is about to get underway. For Wisconsin, it'll be Big Ten play. And they will face Penn State to start things off. Seldom the athleticism and great hustle by the Badgers to keep that one alive. Sept that time, though, got the full swing.
Set might have been a little bit high, but her timing was good. She quickly adjusted. Boy, she just hammers this one right down the middle. Nobody there.
Liana Sebelden has yet to commit a hitting error tonight. Really something. 11 kills for her, hitting .524 and 10 blocks also.
And Melanie Wade, a very similar situation. 6 kills, no errors, 11 attempts, hitting .545.
Tough break for the Huskies as they switch sides as Scambray's service goes long. Badgers pull within one again. Sebelden comes flying in with a block, read it all the way. We are tied up.
Well, they're used to seeing it, so they anticipated, and Thompson just stays home and she waits, and her timing is perfect. This pop.
Van Sant. I think that set was exactly where she likes it.
That's probably the hardest hit ball that I have seen in this match. That was hard and a great angle.
Double-double for her, coming off of one against Maryland last night. Back set to Schwann. Thomas keeps it going.
You can dig this because you're a fan of volleyball, but you cannot defensively dig her. Impossible.
Timeout now by the Badgers as Washington's up by 2 here in the 5th. And just like that, once you get to that 10, it can go very quickly, and Kelly Sheffield knows better make some changes. So I'm very anxious to see how Pac-12 play will begin. We talked about the success of all of the teams and how non-conference has gone, but it will be interesting to see. There will be no nights off when Pac-12 play begins, and this is how it will start for the Washington Huskies. Number 5, Washington, and that may change. We shall see. We'll start things off against Washington State. That'll be Wednesday, 7:30 Pacific time, right here on Pac-12 Network.
When you look around the Pac-12 and you look at what is coming back from last year's successful season collectively for women's volleyball, you can't help but get excited. But a tip of the cap to all these coaches who went out and recruited some of the best in the nation. And remember, Krista, they have to compete for the best talent, but they get it. And some of the best recruits coming in. And this is somebody who was great her freshman year, and it's just even so much better her senior year. I'm telling you, I am not sure if there is defense for those plays.
Love the emotion by Krista Van Sant. 16 kills, 11 digs tonight. The National Player of the Year, the Honda Award winner last year. Led this team in kills, and she's continuing to do so this season. Hard to believe that she's improved, but she's even tweaked and cleaned up her game.
Yep. Great serve.
Overpass, and then it's Wade at the net.
Boy, Washington needed it, and I tell you, Strickland needed it too. She had struggled a bit with service errors. This was timely. It caused Wisconsin to have that overpass, and Wade with the coverage. Nicely executed.
Continuing to wipe up some of the sweat off of the Terraflex court. I think this crowd
Fans just wants it to.
Yeah, they think they're stalling.
That's right. They don't want to interrupt the momentum that they feel.
Cassie Strickland would like to continue as well after that last serve of hers. Another tough win. Badgers able to do something with it, though. It looked like things were breaking down, and instead, they get it back.
Well, that credit Carlini. I mean, look at what she does. She chases out. She just puts that one in a hittable position, and what a big-time delivery by Thompson.
Lauren Carlini, Gatorade National Player of the Year in 2012. Started every single match last year as a freshman setter. That serve way off the mark by Workman.
Rare. She is in there to serve. Didn't expect that from Workman. Didn't need that.
Katie Beals will come back in, the junior setter.
Look at your 3 up front for the Huskies. Wade, Van Sant, and Nelson.
It's exactly where the Huskies want to be in this situation. Beautiful effort by the Badgers. Somehow keeping that one alive, and Strickland doing the same. Van Sant, Maury with a diving save. And just going long, it's Ellen Chapman. And the Husky fans love the effort. Great rally, though, Tammy, on both sides.
This is some of the best volleyball happening right now. This is amazing. It's a lot of fun. These fans know it.
Huskies 2 points away from taking this match.
18 digs for Strickland.
Slide for Thompson. Scambray. Strickland. And unfortunately got tangled up there and tripped up Krista Van Sant. She had a chance to get that if Strickland hadn't slid right in there. Oh, look at this. Gets the hand on that. And then turns around. She sees Van Sant coming right at her.
And she tried to get out of the way. She just tried to lay flatter so that Krista wouldn't trip. But great effort, great hustle. That's what you appreciate from both of these teams is the effort. We saw Maury go headfirst into the bleachers earlier. This is what this level is all about.
2 solid liberos, no doubt. Tough floater from Maury. Van Sant trying to catch the back line, and instead it goes long. And we know these Huskies, they want to finish this off. Badgers within 2. Maury again with a big save. Roll shot from Van Sant. Puts the Huskies to match point. Slide from Haley Nelson, and just too much. The Badgers not quite finished.
Making it interesting.
Point. And number 5 Washington beats number 4 Wisconsin 3 sets to 2 to finish off the Pac-12 Big Ten Showcase.
What a classic reaction from head coach Jim McLaughlin of the Huskies when Melanie Wade killed that one and the victory happened. He turned and fist pumped and looked at his assistant coach, Keegan Cook, and they fist pumped each other. Great calm reaction, but he knows how big this victory is as he walks off the court and gives the crowd a high five.
So the Huskies go to 11-0 on the season, and we'll get ready for Pac-12 play. They will start things off next week against Washington State, and for the Badgers, they take their first loss of the season. They fall to 9-1. We expected a great one, and we got it, as number 5 Washington gets the win on their home court.
I can only hope that if you were watching at home and you weren't a huge volleyball fan, that you come out and support women's volleyball now.
That's going to do it for us from Alaska Airlines Arena here in Seattle, where the final score of our second in the doubleheader, it's Washington taking it 3 sets to 2 over Wisconsin. Our producer has been Steve Elkin, our director Brad Toberman. For Tammy Blackburn and our entire Pac-12 Networks crew, I'm Krista Blanc, saying so long from Washington. You've been watching Pac-12 Women's Volleyball on Pac-12 Networks. Good night, everybody.
It's really an honor, especially with the past champions that have come through UCLA, and the current athletes that are here. It's really special to be surrounded by so many kids that are amazing. For me to be a part of that is really great. It was a great fit. Not only was it close to home, so my parents can come up and watch the matches, my dad can stay involved, but I really like the area. I like the academics here. I mean, it's a great athletic academic balance. Bruin for life, of course, of course. I'm Gage Breimer, UCLA men's tennis. Go Bruins.
2009 needed to be that breakthrough year.
Here comes Gerhardt, dives for the end zone.
We felt we were close, and it was time for us to believe it and make it happen on the field.
Gerhardt explodes, spins to near midfield. To Brent. His teammates said he's the Heisman winner.
He was special. Every time he touched the ball, you knew something special was going to happen.
Here comes number 7 again, busting across the 10.
Like you said, it's kind of like a that distant dream as a kid, like, oh, I want to win the Heisman Award.
It's a touchdown for the Irish.
Whenever we played Notre Dame, the intensity of our practice always picked up. It wasn't a game, it was real.
It's showtime tonight for Jimmy Clausen.
And those were the moments where you thought, maybe Stanford's not going to make it today.
This was pressure, but they counted so much on Toby, and I think they just knew this is his moment.
Toss play. Gerhardt going to throw it.
The year was 2009, and college football was ruled by the power schools. Florida, Alabama, Texas, all vying for the national title. Their star players, Tebow, Ingram, McCoy,